From Kurt D, do you think truly great entrepreneurs, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, have some set of unique qualities that set them apart from the rest, or is it more a combination of ambition and luck? Interesting question. I don't. Well, there is absolutely no question that luck is a major factor. Every successful entrepreneur will tell you or agree, or they are lying if they disagree, that luck played a major part of what they're doing. Luck in terms of people you know, timing of what you're doing, something happens in the marketplace, your competitors, whatever it is. So yes, there is always an enormous amount of luck. And ambition is important, but ambition is just one part of the entrepreneurial mindset. There are a whole lot of things that we as investors look for when we invest in an entrepreneur, relative to obviously their integrity is one thing that's the core to the whole thing, and their passion and their imagination and their drive and persistence and skill sets and experience and all those kinds of things. But when I first started out my career early, when I was a kid, I sort of thought that being an entrepreneur was a life choice. It was a business choice. You could be a policeman, a firefighter, a builder, or an entrepreneur. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My father is an entrepreneur. During the dot-com boom back in the late 90s, I was a finalist for the E&Y Entrepreneur of the Year Award here in New York. My father won it in 2003. He's now going on to his 88th birthday this Halloween. So I come from a line of entrepreneurs, and I sort of thought it was a business choice. But then as I began to get into entrepreneurship, both doing it and teaching it and mentoring other entrepreneurs, it became apparent to me that there was a spectrum going on here. And some people were just completely non-entrepreneurial, would never, ever, ever start a company, would never, ever want to be out in front, take risks. They want to do something, execute something, but follow along a recipe book or a path that somebody else is giving them. Whereas entrepreneurs are forging new ground. So there's a spectrum sort of, all the way up. And then as I've gone through life and gotten involved with more entrepreneurs and taught more classes and written the books on entrepreneurship and worked with Gus and all the entrepreneurs who are on the Gus platform, I finally decided that we have now tweaked my views. So now I believe that entrepreneurship is a spectrum from 0 to 99, and people can be less or more entrepreneurial. But from 99 to 100, that last 1%, I believe that there is an air gap. And there is just something fundamentally different mentally between the way that last 1% thinks and the 99%. And it's not a question of intelligence, it's not a question of ambition, it's not a question of skill set, it's not a question of luck, it's not a question of anything. It's just a different mindset. It's like dealing with a Martian. That 1% of the population who are native entrepreneurs, and that's where you find the Steve Jobs and the Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezoses and the Richard Bransons and the Bill Gateses, even though he doesn't always look like it in that sense. These entrepreneurs, this is the Henry Fords and Thomas Edisons and the like, and Ben Franklin for that matter. They just think fundamentally differently. Now, that doesn't mean that they will all succeed, because they will not all succeed, guaranteed. For every Edison, you've got a Tesla. On the other hand, and that doesn't also mean that people in the 99% can't succeed. The vast majority of people who are running companies these days are not in the 1%. They may be at the 99, 98, 90th percentile over there. So you don't have to be that 1% to start a company, and being in that 1% doesn't mean you will be successful at starting a company. But there is a difference in the mindset, in the chemical composition of the brain, whether it's genetic or otherwise, between that last 1% and the 1% next to them.